Hi everyone. Today I'm going to be describing the activities and facilities that are available on the P&O Cruises ship Ventura. Firstly, I just wanted to clear up a concern that I've heard from people, especially from first timers of P&O, and that's of the different sort of pay structures that they have on board the ship. You can either book a saver or a select fare, and I just wanted to sort of go through what a saver and select fare means, and if there are any restrictions in terms of your actual holiday on board. So the select and saver fare simply refers to the type of fare that you paid when you go on board. So the select fare is basically it's a slightly higher price, but then you get the option of having certain extras like onboard credit or car park, or if you live further away in the country from Southampton, you get coach included as well. So you get to choose sort of one of those options. You also, most of the time, you get to select your cabin number. I didn't actually on mine, but I did get to select the grade of cabin, even though I did book select. And also your dining preference as well. I did a video previously which detailed what each of the different dining options mean. So you get, when I say your dining preference, that's when you select whether you want to go on freedom dining or first or second sitting. So that's what the select fare is all about. And then the other option is the saver price. This is a slightly cheaper price than the select fare. And because you are paying a cheaper price, then you don't get the option to choose your cabin number, but you get to choose the grade of cabin that you want. So when at time of booking, you would book an inside cabin, an outside or balcony, superior deluxe balcony or suite, but you don't actually get to select the cabin number that you want with a saver fare. And you don't get any of the incentives either, such as coach travel or onboard credit or car parking. So if you wanted car park or coach travel, if you booked a select fare, you would have to pay extra on top for those facilities. So really, that is the only time where there's any any sort of difference between a saver and select fare in terms of your sort of holiday experience. So I think some people seem to think that if you're on board and you're a saver fare, that you'll have loads of restrictions once you're on board. No one will know unless you want to wear a T-shirt that says "I booked a saver fare" and tell everyone that way. No one will know or even care whether you booked a select or saver fare. Everyone's treated exactly the same, and everyone has access to all the facilities on board the ship, whether you are select or saver fare. So I hope that's reassured a few people who may have any concerns, depending on the type of cruise fare that they paid for. Another thing that a lot of people have ideas in their head about going on a cruise might be a bit like the Titanic. You go to enter into a venue, and then some maitre d' on the door come up to you and say, "Excuse me, sir, this area is reserved solely, exclusively for first class passengers." It's really not like that at all. Every venue is sort of open for everyone. The only restrictions I could think of off the top of my head are any of the higher tier, those who've cruised a lot. When I say higher tier, it's those who have cruised for thousands of nights on board. They get the odd cocktail party, and they also get a lunch included as a sort of separate lunch as part of their loyalty as well. That's the only time where really around the ship there's any restriction. And the only other thing is breakfast at the Epicurean, which is safe for those who stay in a suite. But otherwise, you're free to come and go into any venue at any time. So yeah, please don't feel like, oh, I'm in an inside, so I can't go in that lounge. It's really not like that on board the Ventura at all. So yeah, I thought I'd go through the sort of how you find out about the activities. So In your cabin, delivered to your cabin every day, will be a 4-page leaflet called the Horizon, and that would detail all the activities and facilities and the times of when those facilities are. When those activities are done, it will also give you the restaurant opening times as well, and it tells you what restaurants there are supplement for. I haven't done a video yet about supplemental restaurants, but I'll probably do one soon on that. But it also tells you all the time, so when everything is, so you can plan your day the night before and you're not missing out on any activities. You know when, you know what you can do, where you can go. To the Horizon is really really useful magazine that you get delivered to your cabin every day, and it really is good to help plan out your day. I'm not going to tell you all the activities and facilities because they do vary per cruise. Not everyone is the same, and also I want, if you're doing your first cruise, there's nothing more exciting than discovering things for the very first time. So I want you to have that experience of, oh, I didn't realize we could do this. Oh, did you know this is on? I want you to try and have that when you're on board your cruise. But if we're looking at the ship itself in terms of the facilities, so I'll start off from the very top of the ship. So I do have my little plan, which is in the brochure here. So this area here is the top of the ship. What we've got there, so there are 4 swimming pools on board the ship for passengers to use. There is another one at the very front of the ship, which is down quite low down in front of the bridge. Not many passengers see it, but it's for crew only, which is why not many passengers could see that pool. So if you do see that any videos of a swimming pool at the very, very front of the ship, in front of the bridge, that's for the crew. But there's an adults only pool, which is located just right up by the spa. Sometimes they use it as like an endless pool, so it's like a wave machine. Sometimes that is in use as that, and that's, as I said, that swimming pools for adults only. What we'll say, all the pools on board the ship are fresh water, not salt water, and most of the time they are heated as well. The next pool, if you're going along the ship, is the Laguna pool. There is a burger bar and a pizzeria located either side of the pool, and there's also a stage there, so you'll have bands. Sometimes they might do a quiz. There's an entertainment team on board. They remind me a bit like the yellow coats from Heidi High, and they do parties, like a sail away party on Sundays. So they play lots of music, dancing, and getting everyone going, singing along. But yeah, that's and you don't have to join in if you don't want to. There's plenty of other places around the ship to go to if you didn't want to join in those sort of parties. And then the next pool along is the Beachcomber, and that has a roof that retracts over the pool. And so if it's wet, they'll close the pool and it'd be like an indoor swimming pool. And then if it's sunny, they'll open up the pool. They'll open up the roof, and then it's another sun deck, and it's an outdoor pool. Then if you walk beyond the buffet, there's another swimming pool called the terrace pool. There are also jacuzzis scattered all around the pool areas as well. So plenty of jacuzzis on board as well. And as I said, everything we're talking about here today is about what's included in the price of your cruise. Also up on the upper levels is the children's club. So the children's clubs are supervised at all times, and they're split into different age groups as well. What the age groups are can vary per cruise. During school holidays, there's more different age groups than there are during term time. But there's all facilities, and there's like a night nursery, and again, all that is included in the price of your cruise. And yeah, the staff there are fully vetted, and your children are supervised up there. And there's also sports courts as well, located around the upper levels outside as well. So you could do, football, tennis, basketball. Sometimes you could do, big team activities which the entertainment team will organise. If you're also into health and fitness, there is a gym located sort of at the front of the ship, and all the equipment within that gym is included. You don't have to pay extra for it. They do the odd fitness class. I once did a fitness class at 7 o'clock in the morning, but I was on a month-long cruise, so which is why I decided to do a fitness class. But if health and fitness is your thing, it's there. I prefer eating rather than keeping fit on holidays. So, but yeah, I know a lot of people do like to keep fit. One little tip is within the changing rooms of the spa area. Most of the spa facilities you have to pay extra for, but within the spa area, the changing rooms there have steam rooms and saunas. They're open for everyone, and they are included in the price of your cruise as well. However, most of the facilities on board the ship are located on decks 7, 6 and 5. Most evenings you'll get, there's a variety of shows and cabarets performed on the ship. So there are 3 sort of main show lounges on the ship. The largest one is the Arena Theatre, which is located on decks 7 and 6. There's entrances to get into the theatre on both those levels. And during the evening, there's most nights there'll be like a West End style show, and they do them about twice a night. So if you, yeah, they're normally arranged to fit in with those on first and second sitting dining, so no one should really miss out on the show. But obviously, all these shows are optional as well. You don't have to go along to the shows if you don't want. So yeah, they do West End style shows when there isn't the in-house West End cast. They're called headliners. If they're not doing that, then you might get a comedian or a magician or someone who's been on Britain's Got Talent. That sort of variety being performed in the theatre. During the day, there could be a guest lecturer in there. On my last cruise, we had someone from Orca talking about marine life, so that was quite interesting. And sometimes they will show popular films in the theatre as well. If you're going along deck 7, in sort of like the middle of the ship, is the Tamarind Club. So this is again, they do sort of during the day they could show films or do talks in there, but they also do in the evening they'll also might have a cabaret singer or some comedy or some sort of entertainment going on in there. Maybe a band will be playing, and sometimes they do a silent disco in that area too, so it's worth looking out for that. And then the other big entertainment venue is called Havana, and that's at the very back of the ship on deck 7. This venue is also used as the late night nightclub as well. So, you know, they have late music, you know, disco going on till the early hours. There's a resident band who perform on the ship called Pulse. Pulse is actually on all P&O ships. It's not the same members in the band, but they it's sort of like a brand name for the band. It's Pulse. So yeah, it'd be an in-house thing. They do sort of themed performances. Like one day they might do a country western theme, and another night they might do guilty pleasures or throwback to the 80s or something like that. So yeah, that's normally quite good fun. In Havana also at night they might have a tribute artist, so it could be Adele tribute or Elton John or Freddie Mercury, that sort of style. And they might also do late night comedy or more sort of adult based comedy. So if you don't want to take your kids along, then yeah, but they'll tell you if it's suitable for children or not. One of the things that's odd about the venue is a lot of the seats are sort of in booths, and they got like walls around these booths. So if you try and watch a show, your sort of head is sort of going up like that, so you feel a bit like a meerkat, sort of trying to look over. But if you're sat at the back of the venue, they've got these TV screens going all the way around the sort of ceiling, and so you can see what's on the stage by looking at on the TV screen. So you shouldn't miss out. And then during the day, sometimes they might show a film in there, or they might do a dance class, or yeah, they do or a talk or sort of other activities. So yeah, again, look at your horizon and look out for that. On deck 6, there's a pub called the Exchange, and in there they'll do pub quizzes or games, and they might do like a races game in there. and sometimes they do live music there as well. So yeah, that is definitely, it's, the Exchange is basically the British pub on board. And then you've got down on deck 5, there is a library which works the same way as a library does back home. So you know, you take a book out, and when you've done with it, you hand it back in. And so yeah, there's a variety of books in there, whether it's a, you know, you want to read up on your destination, or you know, read a biography of piece of fiction or something like that. So they've got all those books in the library. And then there's also a wooden dance floor at the base of the atrium as well, where you can do ballroom dancing to live music, or sometimes I might do a dance class in there or something like that. So yeah, there's normally some sort of activity going on that dance floor. Um, Another thing that might people might worry about is, you know, oh, can I go into a bar if I don't buy a drink? Yes, you can. All the bars are open for everyone. No one expects you to buy a drink. Obviously, you can buy a drink in the bar if you want, but you know, a lot of the bars got really good views of the sea. So rather, if you're in an inside cabin and you want to see the sea, then you can just go into one of the bars, sit there by the window, look out, or if you want a nice comfortable seat to sit on, yeah, you can just sit in there. So you're not under any obligation to buy a drink. No one will kick you out of the venue. You can just stay in there without a drink. So yeah, don't feel like you can't go anywhere because you're not buying something like a drink. So yeah, I think that covers the majority of things that are included. So as I said before, look out for your Horizon magazine, and hopefully this video has been useful in terms of having you understand what it is you've actually paid for and what you're actually getting for your money on your cruise. If I forgot anything, just put in the comments section and let me know. And yeah, I'll do a couple more videos in the next few days or so. But yeah, hope you found this useful. Thank you.